Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today I just want to make an unfortunate announcement that I actually wasn't entirely planning on making. Um, this kind of just happened. It's kind of something I just came to a decision on very suddenly, like literally right before I started recording this. Um, I'm going to be dropping the Critical Role Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom one shot and finishing it on my own time. And the reason for this is probably what you might expect. It's taking way too long for me to get to these. Because I'm not going to be doing a lot of this at a time, it's taking way too long. I started this in June. And I've still only done 2 out of 5 hours. Or 3 out of 5 hours, sorry. I've done 3 out of 5 hours. I've got 2 left. It's like I'm basically a little bit over halfway through. By the time I finish this, it'll be June 2024. And it's not even just that I don't want to do it to you guys. I mean that's definitely part of it, but I'm kind of not finding the motivation to get to it myself anymore. That's why it keeps being put off. The last part we put up was in October, the beginning of October. Because not only is it hard to find the time to do something like this, because of how expansive of a thing this is, but it's just hard to find the motivation because, like, let's be honest here. This is watching people play D&D. This is watching people, as entertaining and likable as they are, basically do the equivalent of reading a book to you. Which may be fine when, like, you're young and everything, and have a hard time reading on your own. But when you're an adult, like, at least for me, it comes across as not really condescending, but it's like I could be doing this on my own, you know? And I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming anyone who does like D&D and whatnot on YouTube or whatnot. My issue is just that it's hard to get into and hard to motivate myself to watch it, or especially to react to it, when all I'm doing is sitting there listening to people talk. Like, there's some sound effects and stuff added in, but there's no visuals or anything. It's not very reaction worthy, I feel. I think that's the big gist of it. There's not really much of anything to react to. Like, the most you're reacting to is the stuff that happens, but it's like the way it's delivered and all is not reaction worthy. I don't know how to describe it. And again, this is nothing against Critical Role, this is nothing against D&D, this is nothing against any of that. D&D is fun to play. But to watch somebody else do it, it's like it saps away some of what makes it fun. Because you're not doing it yourself, and it just isn't the same. And even if you're okay with watching it, it's like watching it and reacting to it, I've said this before, are two very different things. And that goes for anything, not just this. That goes for anything that I react to on the channel. It's a very different experience when you're watching it on your own than when you're reacting to it. I don't feel like I'm giving enough to these reactions to make them worth waiting months to do, and then doing like what, 20, 30 minutes, and then waiting another month or two to get to more. It's like, it feels like a waste of time when when I'm not finding the motivation to do it in the first place, which is why it's being like, month or two between each part. And I'm enjoying enough of the story that they're putting out and the shenanigans that they're getting into, but I just think this would be better on my own time when I'm not having to worry about, like, how I am or am not actually reacting properly to it. Because I have enough anxiety as it is, worrying that I'm not reacting to things as much as I could be. Because, I'm not the most expressive person and don't always get my thoughts across well. So, I think it's best to just drop this. Luckily, it was something that I was just personally choosing to do. Just because, I really like Legend of Zelda and Tears of the Kingdom, so when I heard about this, I decided I wanted to do it. But I do apologize to anyone who was enjoying seeing my reactions to this. I don't feel like I was like giving anything to them, if that makes sense. Like there was like I didn't feel like I had enough input to make a reaction to it worthy. And again, I think that just comes down to the format of it. With it being just people playing D&D, there's not enough for me to visually and actively react to. I just don't think this is good for a reaction. It'll be fine watching it on my own time. But yeah, it's just a very different kind of series than what I think works for the channel. And maybe it's just me, mainly. Um, Maybe that's just me. I don't know if there's anyone else out there who reacts to stuff like this, but it's just maybe because of how subdued I am compared to a lot of other reactors. Maybe they would have a better chance of reacting to something like this and not feeling like they're letting the audience down every time they do. But again, it's just I don't the way I react to things is not suited for this kind of content. And I wish that were not the case. I wish that were different, but I mean, that's not really something I can honestly help much. It's just how I am. It's just my personality. Um, and I've said before, I'm not really one of those who is going to like change my personality completely for reactions. Like I'll be more vocal and open and outgoing, I guess, but only because I'm talking to a camera right now. I'm not going to be like faking who I am, though. Like my personality for the most part is still going to be the same. My thoughts are still going to be the same. I'm not going to like make these exaggerated reactions when that's just not me. Um that would feel so disingenuous, and that's not what I'm trying to get across with this channel. So I just feel like there's not really much to look forward to that makes waiting a month or two between each part worth it. So I'll still watch it on my own time for sure. Hell, I could have it going like while I'm kind of focusing on something else at the same time, just as kind of like background noise, um, while still paying attention, mind you. But you know, um, And I do appreciate like everyone who was interested in these. I do appreciate the Zora avatar drawing that was done for me. Um, it's just at this point, I think I just need to call it because like let me set the scene for you just to close this out. I was about to record this actually, but I was forcing myself to do so, and I realized I was actually starting to record it. Like actually, I had hit record. I was starting to talk pre thoughts, and I was realizing as I was talking, I'm forcing myself to do this. I don't want to do this today, and that one kind of goes against my entire model for how I'm doing the channel right now. But um, also, just more importantly, in general, I don't want to force myself to get to anything. If I'm not enjoying something or whatnot, I don't want to force it because that hurts the reactions. So I realized as I was talking, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's why I stopped that recording and started this one to tell you guys that I was dropping this. Because I realized it's like I need to let it go. I can watch it on my own time, but I cannot do reactions to this anymore. If this is the kind of feeling I'm getting, if it's taking months to get to get to the next part, it's not worth it. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning into all of these. Um, I do apologize again for those who were watching, but I need to make I need to make this decision for the sake of my own sanity and for the sake of the reactions on the channel. So yeah, I'll continue watching it on my own time. Maybe I'll say something in the Discord if I feel like there's something to say, but I think that's a better situation for something like this, personally. So, thank you all so much for tuning in, not just to this video, but to all of the past one-shot videos that we did. Um, I hope you enjoyed them, but unfortunately, this is the end. All other reactions should be fine, should be continuing as normal, obviously. But for now, if you have anything to mention, anything to say, leave those in the comments below. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.